What if time travel was not only possible, but happening every day? What if it was something that you could do right now? Who would you see? Who would you want to visit? What would you ask them? Meet your future self with Israel Savage. It's time.
I wish that I could find a job that would allow me to still be able to do everything that I'm doing now, but allow me to put more time into my creativity, because that's a big chunk of my day being in there from whatever time, or I sometimes have to work over to get stuff done, and I'm just I have stuff that I'm supposed to go do this open mic. Well, now I can't go do it because I had to work over here or something, you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to make it there in time to get my name on the list. And I know if I said that to the people at work, they would be like, "This girl's crazy."
Right, and so there's a little bit of resentment that can build there.
Yeah.
About missed opportunities, even.
Yeah, so I don't want to be negative about my job, because it is a really good place. The benefits are phenomenal, but
your instincts are great with what you're saying right now. Your instincts are fantastic. You get that I don't want to focus on what I don't like, because if you focus on what you don't like, then that momentum's going to build, and you're going to just be more and more dissatisfied with where you are, and find more and more reasons, and more things are going to stick to you.
Yeah.
Validate this feeling of not being satisfied with what you have and where you are.
Yeah, I guess, and in a sense too, I've kind of been pushed around a lot at this place, and it's really hard for me to even fight for myself there, because I don't have enough experience to be oh, this is what needs to happen, I'm not in that position yet, but at the same time, I feel like I'm juggling two careers basically, because I have my career in advertising, and then I have everything that I do outside of work.
Okay, great. Well, there's so much for us to talk about in what you said. And so let's go here first. Every single thing that you experience is the same thing, because it all comes from you. In other words, every choice that you make, everything in your life, right down to the items in your closet, the place you live, the person you're living with, the route you take on the way to work, the day job you have, the creative pursuits you have, there's a through line that runs through all of it. And by through line, I mean in a screenplay, there's something that there's a journey that holds the whole thing together. There's a reason why you're watching this scene in Act 1 and Act 2 and Act 3. Mm-hmm. Because the hero or heroine of the journey is moving through this space from something towards something else. And the hero attaches all of it together. And so in your case, you're the hero of your own story. So every single thing that happens to you is a metaphor, including your day job. If you zoom out, and sometimes we can't always see it, sometimes it's not until after the fact when we look back and we think, well, that's why that happened. And that was getting me ready for this.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I had a corporate job for a while. And in that corporate job, all of the upper management folks just kind of disappeared. They got fired. This happened to them. This happened. Or they just didn't really do any work. And so I was left to do a lot more work than I felt I should at that point in time. And I was resentful at times about it, but I found myself on conference calls, and there would be $1 million decision to be made. I didn't have a boss, or a boss that cared. And the people on the other line were afraid to take action because they didn't want the backlash. They didn't want any consequences. I wasn't invested enough in that job to care about the consequences. And so I'd say, spend it or do this. And they'd say, well, do I need to get permission? Nope. If anybody asks you, tell them I told you to do it. And they would do it, and everything was fine. And so what I learned from that experience in hindsight was I basically learned how to run my own small business. I made all of the decisions for this multi-million dollar, billion dollar even company. I made decisions about a $20 million budget on my own while in middle management. And so it gave me the confidence and the speed to make decisions in my own small business when it was time for me to do that. So it was like, nope, do this. You're going to do that. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Just do it. Right? And so I see the benefits now in hindsight, while at the time it was not the journey that I would have necessarily plotted out for myself. If the thinking me were in charge, I can see that the greater me, my future self, was preparing me for what was next. And in your case, if I zoom out, knowing just what you've shared with me today and other times that we've talked, stand up. And even what you described about your job, the thing that I think that I see there is finding your voice. You're finding your voice at work. You're finding your voice. You're finding the confidence to speak and speak up. And even if you are not heard, even if you are not validated with applause and appreciation and laughter, in the case of stand-up, that you speak up for you and not for anything else. Do you see that through line?
Yeah.
Do you see how that lesson is you're learning not only in stand-up, but in your job? I would imagine, if I had to guess, because I know the way the universe works, in your family life, in every relationship, you're going to see that that's part of your journey. That's part of this journey that you're on as the hero of your story. And spoiler alert, you win.
Yeah.
At the end of the story, you win. That's what your future self already knows. Your future self already knows. In the end, you are a winner. You are a conqueror. You are victorious. But right now, it's just this battle and this celebration and this celebration. Just know none of it is wasted. There is not a single breath in your life right now that is wasted. Your future self has spread out breadcrumbs for you to pick up. And whether you pick up this breadcrumb or that breadcrumb, from where you are, despite the resistance that you have in the way, your lack of belief around a certain topic, despite your saying, no, it can't happen to me that way, I won't allow it that way, your future self is still sprinkling breadcrumbs. And there's a million different paths you could take. This is just one, but this path will get you there as sure as any other path. And it involves moving through this day job. And so that's great, Israel. In the meantime, I hate my day job. Right? I'm the hero of my story, but I don't like this scene in my story. And so what do? Well, doesn't it help to know the ending? Doesn't it help to know you win in the end? Doesn't it help to know this is a temporary scene? This job is temporary. You're not stuck here. You're not here forever. You're only here for a blip, for a page, for a minute, for 30 seconds on the screen. That's the only amount of time that you are here in this spot. That helps. Does that offer a little relief?
Yeah.
Yeah, just knowing that helps, just to know that offers relief. And that's how you know you're on the right track. That's a breadcrumb, your greater self, your future self love for you. That, hey, guess what? This is temporary. But get ready for the next scene and the next scene and the next scene. No time to be wasted on this one. It's all temporary. And so that offers a little relief. And because it offers relief, you rest assured that thought is in alignment with the way your future self sees things. And so something else that might offer relief is exactly what you've already been doing. And that's to look at where you are and make sure, I don't know, do you play video games?
No.
Me either. And so this is an analogy that popped in my head for someone else, not for the two of us. But when you play video games, I hear that you pick up different things along the way. And so there might be a sword here, a shield here, some coins here that you pick up. You don't want to miss those things because they're going to be important for your journey. Now, if you do miss those things, it doesn't matter. It just means your journey will be altered slightly. It might be a little bumpier, a little smoother. But when you can, look around and see, what am I meant to pick up here? And you are doing it. I know, because I know a little bit of your story, that you're getting a lot of your stuff paid for. Some of the classes that you're taking. Let me tell you, I was in this corporate job that I was in, the company was so distracted remember, some management was just not even around.
Yeah.
And so I knew they paid for classes. So I thought, any classes? I wonder. And my future self said, try it. And so I got a master's in psychology on their dime.
Yeah.
Every single bit of it. And it had truly nothing to do with the job that I was doing. Nothing. Every time they signed off on it, I could barely believe it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I was like, okay, like,
all right.
I'll just try it.
Yes. And so that was like picking up some gold coins or picking up a shield. And there are more things like that. So just look around from where you are. Know that it's temporary. See what you can mine from this moment, because there's plenty to be mined from there, and then move on to the next moment, the next moment, the next moment. Mm-hmm. You're doing great. You're exactly where you need to be. And you can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. Your future self is so capable, so confident, so on it, so already there, that no matter what you do, they can get you where you need to be. If you liked what you just heard, then take inspired action now. That's right, act while you are feeling good. And build on your momentum. Schedule your free discovery call with me at instudios-nyc.com/future self.